style.
The essence of omnipresence.
Is the best. My style.
My name is Ben Gilbarg. I first kind of fell in love with video when I was a little kid. We had an old Handycam that I think took like high tapes. They were kind of the fat tapes, like this fat, like this big maybe. And we would do things like that. So I was kind of trying to make my own version. But so that was probably going back to like 10 years old. And then I was in New Bedford High School. They actually had a TV production class. Ended up taking that. And then I kind of discovered video editing from there in that class. I edited actually a piece for Black History Month back then, and it was pretty fun and pretty good. And then pretty much just kept doing it. Got involved at New Bedford Public Access, started doing my own show called Put Out the Word when I was about a junior in high school, and the rest is history. When we first started when we started Third Eye, we were already doing Put Out the Word for like 4 years, but not as seriously, not as regularly. Then we founded Third Eye and we started doing Put Out the Word more seriously. And then that year, people would come to perform at my college at UMass Amherst or in Providence or in Boston, and we would basically hustle to try to get in and bring our cameras in and record the show and try to get interviews. So that year we interviewed Black Eyed Peas when they were kind of first getting famous, Eminem when he was first getting famous, Talib Kweli, Mos Def, KRS-One, Be Real from Cypress Hill, DJ Kool Herc, who's the founder of hip hop, and a lot more than that, but that was literally in the first year we started doing the show. So that's probably my biggest experience. But I consider myself famous. No, because I think fame is a drug that is dangerous. I'm not in it to be famous. I think with fame comes power and you're able to do more things. So that part of it is good, but I wouldn't say I'm famous. I mean, I'm well known in my city. But I'd rather, fame is temporary. So I build my reputation on real things I do, and just trying to build up power to do more things as opposed to dwelling on fame. Famous is like everyone knows you around the country, around the world. That's what I think is famous. Fame, it's just a word. It's just a word, really. Second part of the question is definitely worth it if this is what you want to do. Personally, I'm someone who's into progress, and when I can start a video and 2 hours later I have a lot of progress made on it, I like being productive, and I like saying, oh, I did that, feels good that I can like make things. I like to make videos, and it's a skill that I've worked on basically steadily since I was in high school. It was going back 22 plus years. So that's the first part of the question. Second part is I have a t-shirt that says make videos every day. That's it. If you really want to do this, you just got to do it and keep on getting better. If I showed you my first video I ever made, you'd be like, that's not good. Compared to what I'm doing, what I did 10 years ago, what I did 20 years ago isn't very good. But life is about progress, and you just keep moving ahead every day. And when I first started out editing, I was editing on tape to tape. It wasn't computers. You put a tape in, you'd find the spot where you wanted to use, play, rewind, fast forward with buttons. Then you'd have another tape, which is your master tape. You basically have that spot queued up, you press play and hit record. So imagine having to edit that way. You know, so that prepared me when I learned how to edit, you know, probably 6-7 years after the fact. Digital editing came out and I was editing on computer. I was like, are you kidding me? This is easy. Because I was used to the analog way, tape to tape. So there's so much tools out there, you can do whatever you want if you work on it, you know. I'd have to track it down. But that was actually end of my senior year in college is when that computer editing first came out. And I actually did a demo tape, kind of like a highlight reel, put out the word. It was like 13-14 minutes long and it was off the hook. It was so good. I worked on it my last year of the last 2 weeks of my senior year at college. I crammed, I worked overnights because they had the equipment at my college and I was about to graduate and not be able to use it after that. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna finish this. And I did, and it was just, came out so good. It's great, even Final Cut, going from Final Cut 7 to Final Cut 10, it just saves so much time because it's like, I'm just like, yep, you know, just, it's like I'm playing, you know, and it's, you have so many advances, so yeah, it definitely makes it easier. You get more accomplished. In a way, it feels like a virtual video game, but I just like it because I'm just like the master of my domain at that time. Like you can create things, and it's beautiful to be able to create stories, you know, tell stories via video, use creative ways to do that. So very blessed that I can do that pretty much each and every day.
My outlook watches over master plans and crayons for the exam just to understand. My outlook keeps all perspectives in view, looks out for the sheep cause the shepherds are few. My outlook sees to a balance of hand,